do you ever feel like you're just drowning in information? Every news alert, every social media trend, it's like another thing you should know about, but who has the time to really get it?
Exactly. It's overwhelming.
Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely in the right place. This is our deep dive. Think of it as your shortcut, your way to get genuinely informed without wading through everything yourself.
Cutting through the noise.
Precisely. And today, we're diving deep into the world of, well, an icon, Madonna. We're looking beyond the music, really, at her huge impact on pop culture and something really fascinating how her fans have changed over time.
Yeah, we're drawing heavily from Ludovico De Bonis's book, Bitches, She is Madonna. And it's worth saying this isn't just, another biography telling the same stories. De Bonis takes a really academic approach. He uses Madonna as this incredible case study to look at bigger things, fandom, identity, how media keeps changing. It helps us get why she had such a profound effect.
Exactly. So our mission today, to unpack that whole dynamic, how an artist shapes culture, sure, but then how the fans take that culture and transform it. And what does all that tell us about who we are in this digital age?
It's a complex relationship.
It really is. And you're going to hear some surprising things. Maybe have a few aha moments about Madonna, her audience, maybe even about yourself and how you connect with culture.
Definitely.
And to really get the feel for this deep fan connection, we're starting with a story from the author, Ludovico De Bonis himself. It really captures that bond.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing. It's January 2020. He's in Lisbon.
Okay.
His book's just out. Even her producer liked it. But the concert he was going to, canceled. Madonna's knee injury.
Oh, gutted.
Totally. But his passion, his sincerity. He goes to the venue anyway, hoping to give a copy of his book to one of the dancers, Danielle Sibeli.
Just on a whim.
Pretty much. They talk. He shares how much Madonna means to him, and Danielle, just out of kindness, disappears and comes back with 2 last-minute tickets. And not just any tickets.
Right.
Under the stage.
No way.
Yeah. Ludovico talks about looking right into her eyes, her smiling. And during the song Medellin, she sat down just inches away from him.
That's a fan's ultimate dream, isn't it? It says that connection is real, it's powerful.
It absolutely underscores that deep, almost visceral link.
Okay, so let's unpack that connection. Fandom. Many of us probably grew up hearing, well, frankly, pretty dismissive ideas about fans.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're just brainless consumers buying anything, or maybe social outcasts, a bit childish, Can't tell fantasy from reality. Do those old ideas ring a bell for you?
They're definitely ingrained, aren't they? And it's funny, the word fan itself, its history is revealing.
How so?
Well, it comes from the Latin fanaticus. Originally just meant belonging to the temple, a devotee. Kind of respectful, right?
Okay, yeah.
But it very quickly gains negative shades, exalted frenzy. And by the late 1800s, journalists were actually linking fans to psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
Psychopaths, yeah. Often tied to sports shifting from something people did to something they just watched. It painted this picture of someone kind of dangerously obsessed.
Wow. Okay, thankfully we've moved on a bit from that.
Thinkers like Michel de Certeau started seeing it differently. He called fans poachers.
Poachers, like stealing.
Sort of. Active readers who steal the text, the song, the movie, whatever from the creator, interpret it their own way and create this participatory culture. He even called it a fight over who owns the media representations.
That's a powerful idea. It flips the script from passive to active.
Exactly. And then Henry Jenkins brings us into the digital age with his idea of convergent culture.
Convergent culture.
Yeah, he describes it as this space where old and new media collide, where grassroots and corporate media intersect, where the power balance between producers and consumers is constantly shifting in unpredictable ways.
So the modern fan isn't isolated anymore.
Not at all. They're active nomads, Jenkins says, and really socially connected, not the lonely outcast stereotype.
Okay, so this convergent culture, what does it actually look like? What can fans do now?
Well, a few key things. First, it's super interactive. You can choose stuff, save it, change it, remix it. That's what fuels all the amateur productions you see online.
Like fan videos and mashups.
Precisely. Think of all those Madonna tributes on YouTube. Fans aren't just listening. They're creating with the material. It's also participatory. The barriers to getting involved, expressing yourself artistically, are way lower now.
Right.
It supports sharing, mentoring, Think fan fiction, fanzines online, mashups. It's huge. And of course, it's global. Social media connects fans everywhere.
Tokyo to Texas, like you said.
Exactly. And finally, it's just part of everyday life. It's tied into multitasking, that sort of continuous partial attention skills you actually kind of need now.
So think about this. If you're listening in this age of access, are you a poacher? Are you actively taking media and shaping its meaning for yourself? Or maybe a participant in what Pierre Levy called a knowledge community, sharing what you know?
It's worth considering, yeah.
Which brings us right back to Madonna. This is where it gets really juicy.
Yeah.
How does she, as this massive artist, how does she fit into all this? Does she just reflect it? Or is she actively, driving these changes in fandom and culture?
Oh, she's absolutely doing both all the time. What's key is her chameleon-like personality, right? Her constant reinvention. She's always recycling ideas after ideas, but making them completely her. She's not just reflecting pop culture. She kind of is pop culture, embodied.
A living emblem.
Yeah, and her identity is so complex. It lives on differences, on contradictions. That makes her the perfect mirror for our own shifting identities and a real catalyst for her fans.
And you can really see how her own life experiences feed directly into her art, creating these narratives that fans connect with so deeply. Like, take her authoritarian father.
Yeah.
The song, Oh Father. It's so raw. It speaks to that difficult relationship, that feeling of affective deprivation.
And the video.
Right, the interpretation of physical abuse and that image of her as an adult embracing him at her mother's grave. And the lyric, it's funny that way you can get used to the tears and the pain. What a child will believe, you never loved me. It just hits hard.
It really does. And another huge one, the premature death of her mother. Cancer, when Madonna was so young.
That shaped everything, didn't it?
Profoundly. Like a prayer album, she said, was dedicated to her mother who taught me to pray. And the song Promise to Try, it's all about that sadness, trying to keep alive that now elusive and faded memory. Interestingly, she also called her mother's death a curious form of liberation. It pushed her against silence, towards physical strength dance and away from drugs. Really formative.
And then there's her New York quest for fortune.
Yeah.
That early gritty period.
Oh, yeah. Sleeping in abandoned recording studios, rummaging in trash cans. Intense.
The character Susan, in Desperately Seeking Susan. She said that was kind of a parody of that time, right?
Yeah, a reflection. But even with the tough times, she later paid tribute to the city in I Love New York. It clearly forged her.
In relationships, too. The marriage and divorce with Sean Penn, that found its way into the music.
Definitely. Till Death Do Us Part. It captures that feeling of an unhealthy relationship that never ends. The lyrics are brutal. The bruises, they will fade away. You hit so hard with the things you say, I will not stay to watch your hate as it grows.
Oof.
And that sound in the song, the onomatopoeic sound of the bottles breaking, it's chilling, really symbolic of things shattering.
And then, maybe the biggest reinvention, becoming a mother diva.
Right. When Lourdes Lola was born, she said it made her question her priorities, brought out a softer, more understanding side.
Which led to the spiritual rebirth, the Habala interest.
Exactly. You hear it all over Ray of Light, and especially in Nothing Really Matters. Remember, when I was very young, nothing really mattered to me, but making myself happy. Everything's changed. I'll never be the same because of you.
Yeah, that's a huge shift.
And it wasn't all smooth sailing, of course. Rocco's rebellion later, the intense media scrutiny around her adoptions of David, Mercy, Esther, and Stella.
Right.
But she pushed through with this fierce determination to build her family her way against all the noise.
So all these incredibly personal things, the trauma, the triumphs, they become the raw materials, as the theory goes.
Precisely. They become the resources fans use to make sense of their own lives. People transform those raw materials, the image, the stories, the characters, in ways that have given expressive form to their lived experiences. Her story becomes part of their story.
And John Fisk, the pop culture scholar, he identified specific ways fans do this, right? Things we definitely see with Madonna fans, like discrimination and distinction.
Yeah, that's about fans setting boundaries, deciding what's authentic, what counts. Think about how male sports fans are often seen versus, say, female pop fans who historically got dismissed. Madonna fans really used her work to, as the book says, create the meanings of their own sexuality, pushing back against those norms.
Okay, and then there's productivity and participation. That sounds like the poaching idea again.
It connects, yeah. Fisk breaks it down. There's semiotic productivity. That's the internal personal meaning you make, like what express yourself means to you based on your life.
Got it.
Then enunciative productivity. That's expressing it outwardly, dressing like Madonna, talking like her, embodying her
The
style.
look, the attitude.
Exactly. And finally, textual productivity. That's fans actually making stuff, fan fiction, videos, art, usually not for money, just for the community, for expression.
Like that MTV contest for the True Blue video.
Perfect example. Fans literally making the video.
Okay, and the last one Fisk mentions is accumulation of capital. Is that just about collecting stuff?
It's more than just having the records or the posters, though that's part of it. The books, records, memorabilia. It's about what De Bonis calls the affective economy.
Affective econ.
Yeah, emotional investment, creating these love marks where your loyalty goes beyond reason. Buying the new album isn't just buying music, it's reaffirming your connection, your identity as a fan. It's emotional capital.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Okay, so these are great frameworks, but how does this all play out on the ground? With actual fans? De Bonis talked to them, right?
He did, yeah. He interviewed fans across different age groups, from their 20s up to their 40s, asking them about their relationship with Madonna.
And what came through? Were there common threads?
Definitely. Both similarities and some interesting differences depending on age. A big theme, especially for younger fans like Mauro, who said, I owe a lot to her. During my adolescence, I went through a difficult period. I got out thanks to her.
Wow.
And Danielle, who was even stronger, I cannot see my existence without Madonna, is seeing her as a personal guide, almost a second mother, helping them figure things out, express themselves.
That's powerful. What else?
Pretty much everyone, regardless of age, admired her sex phase. They saw it as courageous, unexpected, way ahead of its time.
Even though it was so controversial then.
Right. They saw it as breaking taboos around sex and homosexuality. Danielle called it an intelligent project, with important artistic influences, not just shock value.
And did they talk about her constant changes? Her identity?
Oh, yeah. They recognized her chameleonic, obvious, paradoxical, and incoherent nature as key to her success. Danielle's point about her being religious, but at the same time, blasphemous, that complexity was seen as a strength.
Interesting.
And there was a strong feeling that the media attacks her because she's a woman of power, free to choose, not just a slave of the big multinationals, a sense of protecting her almost.
Did they feel she'd influenced their own lives directly?
Many did, yeah, saying she helped them understand diversity, accept others, express ideals without fear. One fan, Max, was really specific, saying she unlocked his ability to see the integral nude as normal, which helped his own sexual self-acceptance.
That's incredibly personal. And what about being a fan itself? Did they see hierarchies? Like, who's the biggest fan?
They totally rejected that. A universal no to any fan ranking. They felt passion can't be quantified. And while they love the web for info, some did miss the old days, lamenting the loss of the surprise effect now that everything leaks online. A little nostalgia there.
I get that. And what did they want from her next? Musically. This was around 2019, right?
Yeah, and there was a surprising consensus. They wanted something more refined, mature, maybe less commercial, more experimental, a sound that reflected her age and her citizen of the world status, maybe more ballads. They wanted her to keep evolving, but with depth.
So fans wanting her to be authentic to where she is now, not just repeating formulas.
Exactly. Which, when you think about it, is what she's always done.
Absolutely. Her whole career is this testament to reinvention, pushing boundaries, and somehow maintaining that deep connection with her audience. It's quite the balancing act.
And central to that legacy is her rebellious heart, right? Her willingness to tackle big, often uncomfortable social issues head on.
Yeah, let's talk about that. She's never shied away, has she?
Not at all. Think about sexuality, feminism, religion, homosexuality. They're all tangled up in her work. From the whole virgin bitch dichotomy she played with in like A Virgin and Erotica to fighting sexism.
She called herself a bad feminist, didn't she?
She did. She argued feminists were wrong to think they had to dress and behave like men, asserting you can be powerful even by remaining feminine, challenging norms even within feminism.
And her support for LGBTQ plus rights has been unwavering.
Absolutely, a constant advocate. Fighting for civil unions, gay rights, pushing for AIDS awareness way back when it was deeply stigmatized. Remember her speech for the Stonewall 50th anniversary?
Vaguely.
She said, if we really took the time to get to know each other, we would find that we all bleed the same color and that we all need to love and be loved, using her massive platform for that message.
And she hasn't shied away from politics and critiquing American life either.
No, the American Life album was a direct response to the post-9/11 mood, the Iraq War, she called it a psychoanalysis, and a contradictory criticism of American values.
And she's continued to be outspoken, sometimes controversially.
Definitely. Criticizing figures like Donald Trump very publicly. There was that comment about wanting to blow up the White House, which caused a huge stir.
Right. And just to be clear, we're reporting what the source material covers here, not endorsing any specific political stance, but showing her engagement.
Exactly. It shows she's willing to wade into those contentious areas. And another battle she's constantly fighting is ageism.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially against women over 40.
Through her mDNA skin line, her social media, she's very unfiltered. She insists age and woman must coexist perfectly. And that line, I'm not Joan of Arc, not yet, I'm only human. It's about demanding space for women to age publicly without apology.
And despite all the controversy, maybe because of it, her success is just undeniable. Those Guinness World Records.
Most records sold by a female artist, highest grossing solo tours. Staggering.
It reminds me of that quote from her dancer, Luca Tomasini. I won't stop as long as I have something to say. Clearly, she still feels she has plenty to say.
Seems like it. And you know, that Rebel Heart album cover, her face tangled in those black threads.
Yeah.
De Bonis interprets that as symbolizing all the external forces trying to cage her, define her, but she's still positioned as ready to start a new revolution for herself, for minorities. That fight is core to her image.
So, after decades of revolution, what was the next act? We got to 2019, the fan interviews.
Right, which brings us to the Madame X era, her 14th studio album.
Produced with Mirwais again, right? From her earlier electronic phase.
Yep, and heavily influenced by her time living in Lisbon, lots of Cape Verdean and African influences woven in, a real global soundscape.
And the Madame X persona itself, what was that about?
Oh, it was classic Madonna complexity. Madame X is a secret agent traveling around the world, changing identities, fighting for freedom, bringing light to dark places.
So multiple identities again?
Exactly. She listed as a cha-cha instructor, a professor, a head of state, a housekeeper, an equestrian, a prisoner, a student, a teacher, a nun, a cabaret singer, a saint, a prostitute, all these facets.
Wow, that's a lot.
It allows her to explore different themes, different perspectives. The lead single Medellin with Maluma, the elaborate video, even the controversies there was something about a horse in a palace, and calls for a Eurovision boycott.
Right, I remember some buzz around that.
It all just shows she still knows exactly how to provoke discussion, how to connect, how to keep people guessing, even after all this time.
So, it's been quite a journey we've taken today. Through Madonna's world, her life shaping her art, her fans shaping culture alongside her, that constant, relentless fight for identity and freedom.
It really has. And what De Bonis's work highlights, I think, is that knowledge isn't just about gathering facts. It's about understanding, about applying it. Critical thinking is so crucial now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with popular culture, artists, and how that all feeds back into our own sense of self.
That complex relationship we talked about at the start.
Yeah. So maybe the question for you listening is, how do you engage with the culture around you? What are the raw materials, the songs, the stories, the images that you're poaching, that you're transforming to make sense of your own life? In this age where we're all constantly changing, maybe reinventing ourselves, are we all in our own way, a bit like Madame X, figures shifting, shaping, and being shaped by the culture we live in? Something to think about. Keep questioning, keep exploring, keep understanding.